Thank you so much for attending today. My name is Jennifer Nash, and my doctoral research focused on executive coaching. So what I'm here today to talk to you about is the second study in my doctoral research, which looked at the relationship between coaching relationship quality and the actual coaching relationship. I'd ask you to take out a piece of paper and a pen, and I'd like you to think about an interpersonal relationship that you currently have. And I'd ask you to draw that relationship on that piece of paper. All right, so for those of you that have drawn what this relationship looks like to you, is there anyone that would like to volunteer to describe what they've drawn? They don't have to show the drawing, but if they'd like to describe what they've drawn, I would really appreciate that. What if there were a way that you could improve your relationships? How is relational climate correlated with coaching relationship quality? And that was the subject of my second doctoral study. What I found was that actually each dimension of that relational climate scale was positively and directly correlated with the quality of the coaching relationship. For academia, this is the first time that we were able to demonstrate this empirically and with rigorous methodology. So what I'd like to leave you with are some key takeaways from my doctoral research in the three areas of the relational climate scale. So for shared vision, what do you define as shared vision in your relationship? There's an academic definition of it from the scale, but I'd like you to think about what you would define that as. And then the person that you're interacting with, do you have that same shared vision? Are you working towards the same goals, or are you here and this person's here, or are you here and they're way over here and didn't realize there was a goal? In terms of compassion, which compassionate actions have you observed from others? Perhaps even today in the hotel, have you seen any? Where could you show additional compassion in your relationships? In terms of relational energy, consider what type of energy you are infusing into your relationships on a daily basis. What might that look like? What I'd like to share as my last point is a story that I had from one of my interviews. And the woman was a director of pharmacy in a large hospital in southern Maryland. And she had worked a 15-hour day. And she was actually the rabbi's wife. And the rabbi called her and said, "Honey, I have this patient who is critically ill. They're on the top floor of the hospital. They are all by themselves. And I need you to go up and I need you to spend some time with this person." Now, the director of the pharmacy, she was exhausted. It had been a really long day. Her kids were waiting for her. Dinner wasn't ready. You know, I'm sure these all resonate for you, right? And so she said, "Okay, sweetheart, I will go up and I will sit with this person." And so she goes upstairs and she finds that this woman is literally on her deathbed and she is by herself. And so she takes her hand and she's patting her hand and she's telling her, just giving her some comfort, right? Showing her some compassion. And all of a sudden the woman opens her eyes and says, "Honey, it was like the blink of an eye." And she closes her eyes and she dies. And so the rabbi's wife, of course, she's visibly moved, and I'm bawling and she's telling me this, and I'm not supposed to be doing that, but I was. And so I said, "What did you do in that moment?" And she said, I was still, and I was so glad that I had taken that moment to show that kindness to someone who was alone in their last moments when I was so tired and focused on me. But I turned that around and focused it on them, and they were comforted, and in doing so, I was comforted. So perhaps think about how you can bring that compassion to different inner areas in your life. And I will close there and ask for questions. Thank you.